inZOI recently made their game available for some influencers to playtest, and with that we've been getting a lot of new gameplay videos on YouTube. We can see a lot of things that have changed since the last playtest. So in today's video I want to discuss the good things that I've noticed and the bad things that I've noticed. Hi guys, I'm Bloom and I love making videos about simulation and cozy games here on my channel. So if you like that type of content, please make sure to subscribe, that helps me a lot. So first I wanted to start with the good things. This is just going to be a list of small little things that I've noticed, because I already made a video very much in detail about everything that we know about inZOI so far. So in this video I just want to point out things that are new and different that we haven't discussed yet. So it's just a list of little things that I've noticed that are different. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the inZOIs, the ZOIs, sometimes when you choose an interaction, they actually celebrate, they get happy because you chose that interaction. And I remember that in The Sims 2 we had that. Sometimes when you picked an interaction, your sim would celebrate. Your sim would look at the camera and celebrate. And I noticed that ZOIs do that too. Another thing are bus stations. I don't remember talking about bus stations before, and I think it's a very cool addition. It's a very faster way to travel, because when you travel by car it's a bit slow. So with the bus station you can literally just hop on different locations in the map, although it's got a loading screen. Another thing that I want to talk about, since we're already talking about the traffic, is that you can actually change in the settings the amount of cars that you want to have in your game. So if you think there are too many cars, you can just put it low, like on the lowest setting, and there'll be less cars and maybe it'll be faster to drive around. I also want to talk about the car animations. I think the car animations are really cute. I really like them. And it reminds me a lot of The Sims 2, you know, because you can see the ZOIs opening the door, getting in, just like The Sims 2. Because in The Sims 3, your sim would just be transported inside the car, like they would fade away and go inside the car. And in inZOI, your ZOI actually, you know, everything, they show everything, opening the door, getting inside, you can even lower the windows. Please excuse my voice, I'm still a bit ill. And you can clean your car, you can fix. So I thought it was really cool. I liked the animations. Another thing that I was really happy when I saw is that your ZOIs actually use the dresses. They open the drawers and you can even see them picking like the clothes. And I thought that was so good, because something that I really miss, I even looked up for mods to see if they could change that, but I didn't find any mods for that in The Sims 4. You know how the dresser in The Sims 4 is just that for you to click on it, because your sim completely ignores it. There's no animation, there's nothing, and I even don't see the point of having closets. I really miss that animation in The Sims 4. So I was so happy and excited when I saw that in inZOI, that your ZOIs actually use the drawers, the dresses, the wardrobes. Just a small thing, but I was really excited. Another cool thing is that your ZOIs actually take their glasses off when they go to sleep. I thought that was so amazing how they can interact with different parts of an outfit. So it's coded in the game to remove the glasses when they go to sleep. And I think that's amazing. And I think they can do some cool stuff with that feature. Another thing are dreams. We already know about dreams, but I just really loved seeing that in game, because when your ZOI has a dream, you can literally see what the dream was and that you can read the details. And I thought that's such a cool thing. I've never seen that before and I was very excited. I remember there was like a pod, I think it was in The Sims 3, that you could, was it The Sims 3? I don't even know. That you could choose what kind of dream you wanted to have, but that was completely different from this feature in inZOI. And of course, dreams are base game, so in inZOI. So another thing, I was already very excited when I found out that we're going to have like a disease system, but I was very happy when I saw that it's actually quite in depth. Like you can spread diseases, and the sickness, like the illness levels, are directly related to the city state. So like if the city is really shit, your ZOIs are going to get ill more often, and I really love that. And the fact that diseases are spreadable, you can make up some really cool stories. Like you could make an epidemic or even a pandemic, although it's not a world, it's a city. But yeah. Oh yeah, going back to cars actually break. I think that was really cool because it gives more gameplay to cars rather than just going from A to B. So your car breaks and you have to fix it. Although this is something that I'm going to talk about on the other list, but I'm already talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it. You're going to have to wait to the other part of this video to see what I'm going to talk about. Live careers, they look really cool. I really love to see people playing with the live careers because I thought they looked really nice. I actually think that the tasks were quite nice. And the fact that you can change into your uniform and then you can interact with customers, I just thought it looked so like immersive. You know, the fact that you have to get to work and change into your uniform, I think everything looks very immersive. I really loved seeing people play with the live careers. And it's nice to see people actually in the workplace, like doing things, like all the co-workers working. Because this is a problem that we have with The Sims 4 live careers, is that you feel very lonely when you're in a live career because you're basically the only one doing things around. And in inZOI, not only your co-workers, they work, but customers, they actually do what they're supposed to do. So like I saw someone in the restaurant, I think, and the customers were coming in, ordering food, you know, eating, blah, blah, blah. So I think the live careers looked really good. And then, of course, the functional rides. They had already confirmed with us on Discord, but when you actually see the rides being used is really cool. So I was very happy to see that we can actually go, you know, in the rides and you can see everything happening like first person. So I really loved it. Another thing that I noticed is that interactions, social interactions, they affect quite a lot your Zoi's feelings, like the way they feel, their emotions. And I thought that was cool. In The Sims 4, we have that, of course. And I was happy to see that inZOI is going to have that too. So if you have a bad conversation with someone, your Zoe is going to feel bad. And if you have a good conversation, your Zoe is going to feel happy. So I liked to see that social interactions are going to affect your Zoes. Another thing that I was so excited to see was the phone. Oh my god, the phone looks so cool. And something that I don't know if everyone knows about this information that I'm going to say, but in the future, you are going to be able to type in a text. You're going to be able to write down your own texts and send to people. So I think it's really exciting. I absolutely love that. I think that's going to be so immersive, and I can see people going crazy and actually living another life in inZOI. But I think it's going to be really cool, and I like that. It's very immersive. And also another thing that I want to talk about are the needs. We are going to have an energy need, and we're also having a recognition need. And I absolutely love that because it's such a nice, cute little detail. So your Zoes, they need to feel appreciated with the recognition need. So they need to feel appreciated by other Zoes. I absolutely love that. Although I know that, I don't know if that's 100% accurate with real life, but it's definitely a huge part of life. So it's very nice to have that as a need in inZOI. I really like that. And also energy, like when you go to the gym, when you exercise, your energy need goes up and your sleep need goes down. And I thought it was nice that they are separated, you know, energy and sleep. So I like that. I think it's going to be a bit challenging to keep the balance between them. So I like the needs. I think inZOI so far looks a little bit more challenging than The Sims 4. And I'm so here for it because I think The Sims 4 is too easy. So it's nice to see that we're going to have a little bit of a challenge in inZOI. Another thing that maybe you didn't know about is that we are going to have ghosts in inZOI. They are called souls. And we are going to be able to play with them. So maybe that's something we didn't know, but it's really cool. Another thing that I was so happy to see are the city mechanics. We already knew that we were going to have the city mechanics, but they are a lot more in depth than I was expecting them to be. You can change everything. Like, it's almost like you have MC Command Center in inZOI base game, you know. You can change how often relationships happen. You can change the health of the city. You can change the pollution. You can change the animals population density, you can change the amount of cars, you can change the amount of ZOIs you want in your city. You can literally customize everything in this game. Another thing is that whether they affect your ZOIs, and they are related to traits, and I thought that was amazing. I saw someone playing with the autistic, I think she was playing with a creative ZOI, and the ZOI felt happy when it started raining, and then what it said is like autistic ZOIs like the rain, something like that. So I thought it was really amazing that how it seems like everything in inZOI affects gameplay. Everything is very much like connected, so I really love to see that. Another cool thing, we're having autosave, no more losing hours of gameplay, because inZOI is going to automatically save our games, and I was really happy to see that, because I've lost my gameplays like several times, and I still make that mistake, you know, when you're playing and The Sims 4 just randomly crashes and you lose all your progress. So I was very happy to see that inZOI has autosave. Another thing is that it seems like we're having a calendar system in inZOI called Schedule. We already knew about this since the first playtest, but now we were able to see a little bit more of it. It's still in development, you still can't customize it, but you can already see that it's going to be like a calendar system. So I was happy to see that. Oh, another thing that is different, they told us before that we were not going to be able to drive our cars like GTA, but now with this playtest, we can drive the car like GTA when you manually control the car. So I think that's cool and it's exciting, and you can even use first person view when you're driving, and I absolutely love that. Another thing is that you can run, and I love that, because I remember that in The Sims 3 you could choose to run to places, and in The Sims 4 you can't, but in inZOI you can run. Another thing is that we saw the values, they change over time. So they change with your gameplay. So the way you play with your ZOI are going to determine the values your ZOI is going to have, and I really like that. Whims in inZOI are called desires, and they are directly related to your desired life, and you can actually choose which desires you want. Another cool thing that I noticed is that you can actually switch which ZOI you play with during like live mode. You can literally just click in a ZOI and choose, like, switch to play with that ZOI, and I thought that was really cool, and it's going to be very helpful. Another thing, we're going to have hair physics like The Sims 2, so that's really nice. Another thing that I noticed is that different cities have different jobs, and you can see on the street people working. I thought that was really cool. You can see police officers on the streets, you can see cleaners, and I thought that was a nice detail. Another thing that I think is interesting is that relationships, they seem to have dynamics embedded. Looks like different relationships have different levels. So if you're a friend, you're going to have different labels. If you're boyfriend, girlfriend, you're going to have different labels. If you are husband and wife, you're going to have different labels. And they reminded me a bit of family dynamics and romance dynamics, although it's not exactly the same thing, but they reminded me of that. Another cool feature is that you can move the UI anywhere on the screen, and I absolutely love that. Especially for content creators, sometimes we like to put our cameras in a certain area, so that's going to be really cool. And the cities, they can be very busy, very lively. They can actually be full of ZOIs. It's a setting that you can use. You can change that setting, and you can change to have hundreds of ZOIs or no ZOIs at all. And I've seen that in action, and it works. Cities can be very busy. I saw someone playing with the it wasn't even the highest setting, and it was literally busier than real life cities. It was almost like London busy, you know, with hundreds of people walking together. So it can be very busy, although it's going to require better specs to be able to use that feature smoothly, because the more ZOIs you add to your city, the heavier the game will be. So it's up to you, and it's up to your computer if you're going to have a dead, empty world, or if you're going to have a very busy, lively world. Now, let's talk about the bad stuff. So before you start complaining, I want to mention that if you can't take criticism on a game that you like, you have some work to do, because even the developers want feedback from players to fix the bugs. So if you can't handle that, when even the developers want to hear that from us, then I think you need to stop a little bit and reflect on your life. You like a game and therefore no one can say anything that you don't like about that game. It just doesn't make sense. I love The Sims 4, but I would be stupid to say that the game has no problems. I am super excited about inZOI. I already made loads of videos in my channel saying how good inZOI is going to be and how excited I am about it. But if I refuse to see that the game needs some tweaks, that would be stupid of me. If I like inZOI so much, I want inZOI to be better and better and better. And for that to happen, we need to fix what's wrong, and to know what's wrong, we need to acknowledge that some things aren't perfect, okay? It seems really obvious, but I feel like I have to say that. With that being said, let's talk about the bad stuff now. So first, of course, this is not even early access yet, so it's very likely that all of these things that I'm going to list are going to be fixed by early access. But even in early access, it's still normal to have some bugs and some issues in early access because it's early access. So it is expected to have some things that are not perfect yet. So something that I noticed is that the autonomy is a bit off. Like even when you play in your household, it seems like ZOIs struggle a bit to care for their needs. Another thing that I thought was a bit annoying is that ZOIs, they don't really stop to interact with you. So I saw someone playing, I don't know if it was, I can't remember who it was, but I remember someone playing that they were like in a having a romantic conversation with a ZOI, and literally out of nowhere, the ZOI left and took the bus and left forever. And I thought it completely broke the immersion. It was very odd to watch. So I think I think that's also related to the autonomy. So I think they're going to fix that. And the world, there's a lot of set dressing, although I think it's understandable. Like The Sims 3 was very ambitious with their maps. So I think inZOI having some set dressing, it's okay, because you still have so many different lots options. You still have so many different places to go. And I think it's okay to have some set dressing to make the city look good. But yeah, we have a lot of set dressing. And another thing I noticed are probably the most, I think the thing that people talked about the most is the clipping. So ZOIs clip a lot with like chairs, tables, objects. Even in Creator ZOI, like when you change some parts of the ZOI, it clips through accessories and stuff like that. So there's a lot of clipping for them to fix. It's probably going to take quite a lot of work to fix that, but another thing that I think needs a little bit of work is preferences. I saw someone playing with a vegetarian ZOI, and that ZOI had a burger, but it didn't affect gameplay, like a beef burger. And that didn't affect anything even though the ZOI was vegetarian. So I think that needs a little bit of tweaking. Something I know that they're going to work more on the phone, because we already talked about what's coming. But at this stage, I noticed that the messages can be a little bit repetitive. But I'm sure that they're going to add more texts, and they're going to add more stuff to the phone. So I know that's not gonna be the case. Maybe even in early access, it's already gonna be different. At the moment, I don't think we have a lot of jobs. At this stage, I don't think we have many different jobs, but I think for this stage, before even early access, it's alright. Something that I noticed that can be a little bit annoying is that even when you speed up the game, it's still a little bit slow. But you can change that in the settings. You can make your ZOI day shorter. You can actually adjust that yourself in the settings. Some problems that I noticed with the car is that ZOIs, they walk over the cars, so that needs to be fixed. And also, ZOIs are unable to fix the car at the moment. Like, it just won't work. You tell your ZOI to fix the car, but the car won't be fixed. Another thing is that when your ZOI puts something from the inventory on the floor, the object disappears. And I think the eating animation is a bit off. I think it's because you know how you can eat and do all the things while you're eating. I think that's what the problem is. because I saw some ZOIs doing some weird things while holding a plate. Like they will hold the plate, and instead of like putting the plate down or washing the plate, they actually like walk around holding the plate, unless you tell your ZOI to either put it in the inventory or to wash it. So I think that needs to be tweaked as well. Now, talking about relationships, I think social interactions, they need a little bit of work too, because I noticed that in the romance tab, there's like sometimes the interactions, they won't even be romantic. It's gonna be something like that should be probably under the friendly category. And so yeah, I think they still need to be they still need to do a little bit of work in the social interactions. And another thing that I noticed, that I don't know if this is gonna change, but I just thought that the relationships were quite easy. So like, it's quite easy to build romance in inZOI, and that is not a bug. So I don't know if it's going to be different. I don't know if they're going to change that, but I thought it was a little bit easy. But the Sims 4 is very easy, so but expected it to be a little bit harder, to be a little bit more challenging. Although if you have like incompatible ZOIs, then it's a little bit harder, but still I wish it was a little bit more challenging. But it's not really a bug, so that might not change. Another thing were rumors. I thought the rumors were a bit weird. They seemed a bit vague, and it just felt like it wasn't accurate. Like it felt like it was all like made up stories and not things that were actually happening. Does that make sense? Another thing is that at this stage, of course it's going to be fixed, but at this stage, ZOIs are not dying from low needs, so like they're not dying from starvation and etc. Okay, and now the last thing I want to talk about is it's not a bug, it's not a complaint, it's just something that it's just a doubt. Like a question. I have you seen the toggle in the needs button? So I'm a bit unsure if you can disable needs. Is that what it is? I haven't watched all videos yet, so I'm not sure. I haven't seen anyone use that. Is that toggle like that you're able to disable the needs? Is that what it is? Not sure. If you know the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. So yeah guys, this is my list of the good, exciting things that I saw in inZOI, and the bugs and the issues that I've found in inZOI that are probably going to be fixed before we have early access. But even in early access, we might still have some bugs. We already discussed this. Early access is not the final product. So even in early access, it's possible that we'll still have bugs and we'll still have a little bit of problems. But so far, this is what I've noticed. And keep in mind that this is not the version that we're going to play. This is not even early access. So it's a very like early stage of the game, and it's already looking really good. Really good. Some problems in inZOI at this stage are problems that we have in The Sims after 10 years of the game being released. I think we're in a good route here. I think we're going in the right direction with inZOI, and I'm very excited, and I cannot wait to play the demo this Wednesday, and I cannot wait to play this game. I'm so excited. inZOI looks really good, and the team is doing a great job. They actually listen to us a lot, not just the influencers, they listen to us peasants too. Please don't be offended. I'm included there. I'm not an inZOI influencer. So they listen to us a lot too. They listen to the influencers as well as us, the players. So I'm very excited about inZOI, and I'm very happy with how they are doing things. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.